Trust is dying, not because people suddenly became evil, but because the world quietly changed. And most of us never noticed. Every single day, you trust complete strangers, the pilot flying your plane, the doctor writing your prescription, the chef preparing your food, the driver in the lane beside you. But when it comes to the people closest to you, trust has become harder than ever. Relationships fall apart over a single text message. Friendships end because of suspicion. Families stop speaking to each other, and millions of people now believe that trusting someone is a weakness. People often say, human nature has changed, but that's not true. Humans haven't changed much in thousands of years. What changed is the world around us. Think about it. Every day, your phone delivers hundreds of stories about betrayal, scams, cheating, corruption, lies, crime. Even if these events happen thousands of miles away, your brain treats them as if they're happening right next door. For the first time in human history, we don't just experience our own problems. We experience everyone else's too, and without realizing it, we slowly begin to believe that the world is becoming less trustworthy. The more negative stories we consume, the more dangerous reality begins to feel, even when our own lives haven't changed at all. That's how trust begins to disappear. Not all at once, but one headline, one video, one story at a time. Have you ever noticed? That one betrayal can erase years of trust. A loyal friend lies once, and suddenly you question everything they ever told you. A partner breaks a promise, and every memory begins to feel different. Why? Because the human brain is built to remember danger more than safety. Thousands of years ago, forgetting one dangerous mistake could cost you your life. But forgetting 100 peaceful days didn't matter. That survival instinct still lives inside us. Today, it no longer protects us from wild animals. It protects us from disappointment. Every betrayal leaves a deeper mark than 100 acts of kindness. That's why trust is so difficult to build and so easy to destroy. The brain isn't trying to make you happy. It's trying to keep you alive, and sometimes it can't tell the difference between real danger and emotional pain. Now add social media to the equation. Every swipe, every click, every recommendation is carefully designed to keep your attention. And nothing captures attention better than fear. Think about your own feed. How often do you see stories about kindness, about honesty, about people keeping their promises? Now compare that to the number of videos exposing cheaters, scammers, manipulators, and broken relationships. The internet doesn't show you the world as it is. It shows you the content you're most likely to watch. Over time, your mind begins to mistake repetition for reality. If you see enough stories about betrayal, you start expecting betrayal, not because everyone has changed, but because your brain has been trained to look for it. Without realizing it, you become more cautious, more suspicious, and a little less willing to trust the next person you meet. But here's the real danger. The less you trust people, the more isolated you become, and the more isolated you become, the harder it is to trust anyone again. It's a cycle. You avoid people because you're afraid of being hurt. But avoiding people also means fewer chances to experience honesty, kindness, and genuine connection. Slowly, suspicion becomes your default setting. You stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. Every delayed reply feels intentional. Every mistake feels personal. Every disagreement feels like betrayal. Without realizing it, you begin protecting yourself from relationships that might never have hurt you in the first place. Fear promises safety, but it often delivers loneliness. And loneliness has a way of making fear grow even stronger. That's how trust quietly disappears. Not with one dramatic event, but with hundreds of small moments that slowly reshape the way we see the world. If trust is disappearing, can we blame people alone? Not entirely. Modern life has changed the way we connect. We move more often. We change jobs more frequently. We spend more time looking at screens than looking into another person's eyes. Thousands of online followers can never replace one real friend. 100 daily conversations can still leave you feeling completely alone. Technology has made communication easier, but genuine connection has become much harder. And when people stop feeling connected, trust begins to fade. Because trust isn't built through perfect words, it's built through shared experiences, shared struggles, and time. The problem is, modern life gives us less and less of all three. So, is trust gone forever? No, but rebuilding it is harder than breaking it. Trust doesn't return because someone asks for a second chance. It returns through consistency, small actions repeated over time, a kept promise, an honest conversation, someone showing up when they said they would. These moments seem ordinary, but they're the foundation of every strong relationship. The truth is, most people aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for predictability. Someone whose actions match their words. Because trust is never built in a single moment, it's built in hundreds of moments. That quietly proves someone is worth believing in. Hey? But here's something most people never realize. Trust doesn't disappear because the world becomes more dangerous. It disappears because fear spreads faster than hope. One shocking story can reach millions of people in a single day. Acts of kindness rarely do. Every notification, every breaking headline, every viral video quietly teaches us the same lesson. Be careful. Don't trust too easily. Protect yourself. And little by little, we begin to see danger where there may be none. A stranger's smile feels suspicious. A delayed reply feels intentional. A simple misunderstanding becomes a reason to walk away. The truth is, most people aren't trying to hurt you, but our brains rarely remember ordinary people. They remember the exceptions, the betrayal, the lie, the disappointment. And because of that, we start preparing for the worst, long before anything bad has actually happened. That's the hidden cost of living in a world driven by fear. Not just losing trust in others, but slowly losing the ability to feel safe around them. So, can trust ever come back? The answer is yes, but not through technology, not through another app, and not through another viral video. Trust has always been built the same way. One conversation, one promise kept, one act of honesty, repeated again and again. The strongest relationships aren't built because two people never make mistakes. They're built because both people choose honesty over comfort, listening over assumptions, understanding over fear. The real tragedy isn't that the world has become impossible to trust. It's that many people have stopped giving trust a chance, because every wall we build to keep pain out also keeps love, friendship, and human connection from getting in. Perhaps the greatest risk isn't trusting the wrong person. Perhaps it's spending your entire life never trusting the right one. Maybe trust isn't disappearing because people have become worse. Maybe it's disappearing because we've forgotten what trust actually requires. It requires patience, vulnerability, and the courage to accept that no relationship comes without risk. The truth is, a world without trust isn't a safer world. It's a lonelier one. Because every meaningful friendship, every family, every great love story began with one simple decision: to trust someone, not because there was a guarantee, but because life is impossible without it. So the next time you find yourself questioning everyone around you, ask yourself this: has the world really become less trustworthy, or have I simply become more afraid? The answer to that question may change the way you see people forever, and perhaps the greatest crisis of our generation isn't the loss of trust. It's the loneliness that follows. Because when trust disappears, loneliness takes its place, And that's exactly what we'll explore in the next chapter, Why Loneliness is Becoming Normal. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe to The Examining Mind for more deep dives into psychology, sociology, philosophy, and the hidden forces shaping modern life.